Hello, this is David the Bard. You can imagine my other names. I have received a request, and I think it's a reasonable request, on talking about the website that the Mormon Church just put up for gay and lesbian people. Now, those of you in Ecuador, in Israel, the Palestine territories, how the hell do you people have time to hit me? I don't know. How do you do that? You're at war with Israel sometimes, and sometimes you're watching the Bard. Come on, get a life. Anyway, I welcome all countries that visit, and I speak to all countries because you guys don't know this stuff in the other parts of the world. The Mormon Church has enough wool to pull over all of the eyes of every country except the United States. And now you have internet. The wool ain't big enough. The wool ain't big enough. Here we go. The Mormon website on gay and lesbian human beings. Now, a little history. The Mormon Church went into California and spent millions and millions and millions of dollars to go on to Proposition 8, which bans legal marriage between same-sex couples. That went to an appellate court, and then it went to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. And about June of next year, 6 months, we'll know whether it's going to be legal nationally to marry. Now, Utah has a law right now that says it doesn't recognize any marriages that are the same-sex couples. Well, there's Utah, and that's why they hate big government. They want to do things their way. They want to persecute the gay community. Well, they went to their members of the church. I know one lady, and I'm going to tell her name because it's public information. Ken Garth, G-A-R-T-H, auto dealership, which we bought 2 or 3 cars from. I like Ken Garth dealership. His mother gave $100,000 to hate the gays in California because the Mormons wrote to all their members and said, send us all the money you can. Yeah, there's a little bit of history for you. Ken Garth, sue me. You got to take my car back, though, and give me my money back. Tell your mom to knock off the crap. Anyway, the Mormons have spent millions and millions of dollars in 7 or 8 states trying to stop gay marriage laws. And I think there's 2 states now, which is Colorado and Washington State, that have voted in by a majority gay marriage. Now, the old boys that sit in the conference chairs with chucks. Now, some of you don't know what a chucks is. Look it up on the computer, you dumb people. They've used chucks, especially in Boyd K. Packer's conference chair, because he masturbates a lot. You can't see it. It's behind the wall there, but, you know, he's into masturbation. Look at all of his speeches. He's really into it. So they use those chuckses all along there. Well, all of those old boys, they can't even remember their own names. Hell, they're 20 or 25 years older than I am, and I go out of the house with no pants on. You know, Jesus ought to talk to them more because they're getting old. They need a little bit of instruction. Anyway, those old boys, they couldn't smell a fart in a basket. Those guys, they've lost every sense, and the biggest sense they've lost is common sense. Now, since the church is not a church, it is a corporation of the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you have some younger and smarter people that are twisting and turning the Mormon Church doctrines, policies, and procedures because they want that damn money to keep rolling in. And when they see the money starting to you know, siphon off, they come up with new ideas. Well, gay marriage, as of the writing of this, speaking of this video, is probably illegal in 7 or 8 states now, and now I think there's 2 more, so it's really up to about 10. You don't need to be a master of societal trends. Now, let me break off for just a second here. Okay, You watch Channel 21, and I think it's Channel 22 in Utah. Now, I can't get it here in Australia. The kangaroos sing like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, and they look just like them. They have the same damn look on their face. Like a deer in the headlights. But anyway, you see, I forgot what I was going to say. I have to back the video. If I back it up, then shit, I lose it. Okay, so I have to think for a moment. Okay. I was talking about the trends in homosexuality. Now, the general authorities, they don't see trends. Oh, I know. Watching TV at Channel 21 and 22 in Salt Lake City area, they're Mormon channels coming right out of BYU. And the programs that they run on those channels are 40, 50 years old. Now, if you said to the young people, which most of you are, you're all 25, 30 years younger than I am, if I said to you, leave it to the beaver, you wouldn't think that was a program on TV. You'd go, hell, that guy has no reverence. Leave it to the beaver? The beaver can't talk. Well, they don't need to. They get whatever they want. They just sign language you. Anyway, you know, Leave It to Beaver is one of the shows. Father Knows Best. He has a penis and the priesthood. You never heard of Father Knows Best. They play programs that are a century old. They don't see trends in a million years. Now, the only reason black people got to become Mormons, full-fledged Mormons, is the IRS was going to take away their 5013C tax-exempt status. And the Mormons saw the money going down the shit tube, so they go, oh, we love the blacks, bring them in. And then they started, you know, missionary work in Africa. In 1978, the Mormon missionaries were not allowed to even talk to black people. They couldn't even teach them lessons. So now somebody with a little bit of a brain is looking down the road and going, holy shit. Same-sex marriage is going to become the law in the United States, and we're again on the back end of the toilet seat. We're going to have to do something to change that. Now, they were on the back end of the toilet seat in the ERA, the Equal Rights for Women. They lost their ass on that. They excommunicated Sonia Johnson because she wanted to be treated equal pay for equal work. What would Jesus do? Excommunicate her. Yeah, what a terrible thought, being equal. The blacks got the priesthood because the church was going to lose its tax-exempt status. And now, someone's looking down the road and going, holy shit, if they were going to take tax exemption away from us on the blacks, you know damn well that's where they're going on the gays. If that becomes a national law, we're going to have to recognize gay marriage. And so somebody is looking down the road. We haven't heard the Mormons bashing gay people since Romney started running there around January 2012. And now in 2012, December, we don't hear the Mormon Church saying shit. The United States of America kicked them up the ass, and half of those boots, well, 10% of those boots were gay people, and then there was another 30 or 40% of those boots, like mine, that said, don't discriminate. I don't care if they're gay or black or whatever. Don't discriminate. So the Mormon Church is finding they're losing their ass in money. They're losing power, prestige. People don't like the Mormon Church. They've got millions, if not billions, in public relations. And my show and 10,000 other shows like them are telling you what the truth is in the Mormon Church. And then you take a look at my comments. I don't erase them. Watch what the Mormons say. Watch what the Mormons do. Those are real Mormons that are replying to me. I'm not bashing their church. I'm just telling you guys what happened to me in their church. Oh no, you can't tell the truth. You can't tell what happened to you. If it's not good, it's not good for us. Well, anyway, somebody is seeing the trend. Now, let's get back to the church is going to have to change, and they hate it. They hate it. When Jesus changes his mind and lets the Mormons marry 14-year-olds and then not marry them, then have polygamy, then not have polygamy, then hate the blacks, then not hate the blacks, and hate the gays and not hate the gays, have long garments, then short garments, and the temple ceremony is different, and the penalties and the punishments of slitting your throat are in, then they're out, then the blood atonement is in, and the church that never changes is going to have to change again. So what I see, I've been on the site, not as a participant, Not that there's anything wrong with that, as Jerry Seinfeld would say. You know me, I've got videos on here. We need to treat everybody equally, fairly, and equally. I don't care. If you want to marry a tree, marry a damn tree. Try to make it pay child support, though. That's a tough one. Anyway, the church is starting to see they're on the ass end of a plunger, and they're going to go down. So someone has grabbed the stick to the plunger. Now, in our house, I've told you, we can't afford that damn stick with the plunger. We just have the little rubber thing, and I have to push that sucker down in there, and, you know, that reminds me of paying tithing. It's something I don't want to do again. So anyway, they're looking forward, and they're saying, well, let's put a website up. We're not going to change anything now, and we're not going to do anything now, but we want to soften our membership into believing that it's a civil rights issue, not a sexual issue. So let's put up a site. I've read the site, and it's nothing new. It's like 30 or 40 different Mormons, apostles, prophets, authorities, women, everybody, making comments on gay life and gay marriage. Now, the biggest thing that the church says these days is there's nothing wrong with the feelings of being gay. It's kind of like there's nothing wrong with having sexual feelings. But if you ever act on those feelings and you're not in a legal marriage, you're discommunicated. You are discommunicated, and you're excommunicated, and you're boot communicated, your ass is out. So, the church is beginning to line up their position to change their doctrine. That's exactly, please, keep this tape forever. I know the Mormon Church will buy this YouTube show, and my tapes will all go in the shitter. But anyway, until that happens, this is how the Mormon Church starts to look down the road and know that they are on the ass end of the toilet. And they need to change, or people are going to quit, resign like I did, etc. So there's nothing different. The doctrine is not different yet. Yet. They say you can be homosexual and gay and lesbian and all you want, just don't touch yourself or anybody else. I guess that's kind of like getting pigs to fly. No matter how fast I've seen a pig run, it's never left the ground. So anyway, I am making a comment here on the request, and I think it's a reasonable request. I go to 185 countries throughout the world. I don't know how people click on a computer when they have no electricity. I don't know how they do it. But anyway, for the whole world to know, the Mormon Church is aligning itself and positioning itself. So when the Supreme Court next year says the Mormons in Utah have to accept gay marriage, now, what are the Mormons going to do with their temple ceremony? There's the problem. Someone is going to want to go to the temple that is a same-sex marriage, and the Mormons are going to say no, and then the IRS is going to say yes. What are the Mormons going to do? Separate but equal? You have the homo temple here, and you have the hetero temple here, and then you have temple to nowhere here. Who knows how they're going to do it? Maybe they'll have just special temple sessions for gay couples. Half the old bastards in the church are going to leave if they see two men in there holding hands and kissing and kneeling at the little altar for eternal marriage and have their two adopted children there. Half the Mormon church will go unemployed. That's the upper group will be unemployed. The underemployed people will be quitting. They'll be resigning and quitting and going, we thought this was a homosexual haven. What's happened? Blacks. Homos. What next? What next? The world is going to hell. Shit. In 20 years, all us old people will be dead, and you young people going, oh, no big deal. You want to go in there, and one wants to wear the robe, and the other, they can have transsexual. We don't care. You can have, you know, cross-dressers. We don't care in the temple. Temple's for people. If you're a people, come on in. Now, in the future, I see, with Revelation, I see marrying inanimate objects, okay? The woman brings a car in to be sealed for time and eternity to her. That's a hell of a warranty. And a man brings in a tree. And all the little nuts that fell off the tree, he's going to have sealed to him. It reaches a point of absolute stupidity, and even the Mormons can't see this. They just can't see it. Their heart blinds their head. And I hope I live long enough to see a gay couple standing out in front of the Salt Lake Temple, starting to get in one of those carriages with the horse drawing it, and graffiti all over it, "We hate gays," and yet they got on their temple clothes, and they're married for time and eternity. No one's married for time and eternity. The Mormons think they are. But the gays going in there, I think is fabulous. I think it's freedom of religious doctrine, and I also think it's a discrimination. I think it's a discrimination. Equal rights. Everyone should have equal rights. So please, atheist God, keep me alive till I see the gays coming out of the temple. Thanks.